Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Uncropped. Today, we have our special guest, Isaiah. He is playing Kash in River's Edge, and he is the star of the show. Very, very happy to have him. Isaiah, you want to just take a minute to introduce yourself?
Howdy, howdy. Yeah. My name's Isaiah Morrissey. I've been acting for about 5 years now. I was lucky enough to get the role of Cash in this amazing film, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it.
I'm nervous and excited for him to see it, too. So, the amount of times that you've just been plastered on our editing base screens, and we're just trying to figure out what can we fix, because we're all learning. And the thing with the whole editing situation is we're like, okay, Isaiah's face looks too red here, or I think we've banned if we work with you again, I think we've banned you from wearing red shirts.
To be fair, I do have a really red
Because
face sometimes.
scene one is you're wearing this like red athletic like type shirt.
Yeah.
It was like one of the worst for Will to color correct, apparently. So I guess we've learned not to have anyone that we're working with wear red shirts from now on. But yeah, so how did we get to meet you, and how did you get involved with the project? Like, is there a big story there?
Yeah, I mean, no crazy story. An unexpected portion of the story, I'd say. But I did like anybody else would do. I submitted on Backstage. Um, you guys got back to me. I sent an audition. You liked it. We did something online on FaceTime, and then lo and behold, Will happens to be on the FaceTime as well. And I like to give him some credit because I'm sure that had something to do with me getting the role. Because he's a great dude, and you guys are all great dudes, and girls. Um, and yeah, I mean, that's really the whole process. You guys were really thorough about who you went with, and I'm just really happy you went with me. So
And the great thing about your audition process and everything is we told Will like who was auditioning, we showed people, and he was actually very secretive, and he didn't tell me that he knew you until after we were already leaning towards you.
yeah,
So he made it an intentional point to not try to influence our decision. But once we were like, we're leaning towards Isaiah, he's like, yeah, I can vouch for him. He was in Expression. Holy
okay,
crap. How
okay.
could we both forget that?
I know. Well, I had a different one named thing I was into that I was thinking of only.
Uh, but after we were leaning towards you, he was like, I'm not going to say anything, but he afterwards he was like, yeah, he's a great person, great to work with. So I was like,
Great.
okay, well, I'm glad that we got Will's approval.
Yeah.
But no, just like from the very beginning, I had a good feeling about you, and it was interesting because you know you have this like original idea for a vision of a character, and
Yeah.
you envision them like literally like physically how they are in space in your mind, and then at least that's how I was. But and then like once you see the person that like actually matches that character, it replaces that completely. And once you did that, I was like, okay, yeah, that's him. That completely replaces whatever was in my mind before. And I think all of you guys did that. You and David and Jared and Cora. I keep on accidentally calling people by their character names. It's bad. So, um, yeah, it was interesting that I was able to envision you as that quickly. Like you were immediately there, and
Thank
I know
you. I
Piper
appreciate
felt the same
that.
way too. So as we mentioned, you knew Will um, before you got to set. Was he the
I
only one
knew
that you knew?
knew him very well. Well, we'll power slap me in the face 3 times,
Okay,
and
and I was waiting for you to have an opportunity to get your payback on him. I
I would
still
never.
want to see that happen because Will's
Maybe
a strong guy.
maybe if he gives permission, maybe if he signs off on it.
He's already said on set. He said it multiple times. Go for it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you're just too nice of a guy to do it.
I don't think I could do it.
I could do it for you if I get your permission.
It was for the
The
good of the film. If he's in the film, we'll add a slapping scene to anything he's in.
okay, we'll
Be
do that.
perfect.
Yeah. We'll write next film we write. We'll add Will in just
Just to
to
be
have a slapping
successful.
scene, just just for you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and
I
we'll make him
appreciate
do like 20 takes because his
it.
facial
Yeah.
expression
Yeah.
is never right.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect. Um, so getting on set, you said you only knew Will.
But like a
So
little bit.
so basically just Will and maybe a little Carter. But
Yeah.
how was it getting to know everyone, and what was the vibe like for you on set? Was it like weird at first and then easier getting into it with more people,
Uh,
or how
I
was
mean,
it?
yeah, I think that's how it is with like a thing with anybody. I will say give props to everybody in the way of like, I mean, they're just all great people. They're all very different. They all like their own things, but they're all great people and they come together and they make a great piece of art. And I'm so lucky to be part of this crew because I mean, I really couldn't ask for more. They're joking around, but then right when it gets to seriousness, they're locked in. Um, and yeah, I mean, everybody complimented me every time I would finish a scene, which would boost my confidence, make me feel good, and just everything about it was a great environment.
Yeah, everyone was amazing, and because even I didn't know at least like half the people. I had never worked with half of the people just in the crew, not just the cast, but the crew. I didn't know half of them, so I was really nervous going in because I was also in charge of these people I'd never met before,
Yeah,
and you guys as well. I knew Cora and I knew David a little bit, but I didn't know you and Jared, and I didn't want to come off as like an asshole or whatever. It's like, okay, I'm in charge. No, I don't know. I want to make sure that I have that connection with people before I'm able to be like crazy serious with people. So that's why I was like, okay, let's have a couple days at the beginning where we all just kind of get to know each other, and
mm,
then have a couple later days. And we did that like hike up to Mount Batty. That was one of my favorite moments, hands down, of the entire thing. Like screw
beautiful up there.
filming,
It
that
was
was awesome.
absolutely stunning.
But and also the fact that you were just like leading the way the whole time, you were like gone. I was like,
I'm a big
okay,
hiker. I'm a fan.
yeah, I would love to hike more often. I just can't. I don't have the time. But
Yeah, yeah,
um, oh, and then you mentioned something I was going to talk about. Oh, you mentioned the fact that everyone was just so nice, like complimenting everyone. Everyone was complimenting,
yeah.
and I think we kind of like this inside joke where you and Jacob and I would all just compliment each other in circles. Because I can't take compliments for
Yeah.
anything. Jacob can't either. So we would have to like yell at each other, just like accept the compliment, move on.
Yeah,
So it was kind of funny though. It was a fun little dynamic that we had. So I don't know. I think it was like you said, a great environment, and people
for
are
sure. Yeah,
awesome, and I want to work with everyone again, hands down, like you, everyone. So I'm excited to see what the future holds. So tell us about you and Cash. What was your process of like connecting with him, and did you do anything in particular that kind of got you into that mindset, or was there something about Cash that really stuck out to you that you appreciated?
yeah. So I love the character of Cash. Partly because he was, I like to consider myself like a good person. I try and do good by people. And me and Cash are so different in like almost every way, it seems like. But besides that, and that's where we kind of connect because he struggles, but he still has like compassion for people, and I really like that about him. Um, with the things that we differ, I think I try and look at people in my life and people I've met that kind of resemble him a little bit, and I try and just like mimic things they do and just become like think of them as Cash, and then I use that to kind of work towards how I'm going to build the character. And that's really what I did. Yeah.
I've actually never heard of that. That's awesome. I really like that way of thinking.
Thank you.
So you just like you take pieces of like what people do that remind you of Cash and just like note that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really I never heard of that before. Like I've heard of people like literally diving into being Cash for like however
Yeah.
long, or like just being the character for like a week straight or whatever. But I never heard of like the analyzing other people in that way. I think that's really smart. So good work there, because
Yeah. It's
you
the easiest way that my
embodied
brain can like
it.
process it, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's you became Cash perfectly in this like the film, like, and
Thank
there
you.
were
I
times
appreciate that.
when you guys were on set, and you especially, but everyone did like a really great job improvising to what their character would do. But there was one that one scene especially where we can talk about it since it's in the trailer with the
Mhm.
teaser. When you improvised that line, at least I'm not a fucking drunk, and you
Yeah,
said that, and you were like, hey, like, what if I tried that? And I admit Piper and I were hesitant at first
yeah,
because is it something Cash would do? Is it how he would react? Is he a confrontational person? Like all the things contradicted it, but the facial expression you made at the end of that contradicted everything that was contradicting it. So it was incredible to see the fact that you guys were thinking so well as your characters that you were able to just like, hey, what if I tried this? And there were times where you know this. Um, we talked about this last time with Cora. Not going to go into too much detail, but Cora and Jared surprised all of us by doing stuff we didn't expect on camera because they improvise very well as well. So you guys got very comfortable with your characters from what I saw, and you were able to like create your own world properly with it. I
yeah,
mean, I've
yeah.
never been like an actor where I don't know exactly all the terminology you guys use and everything, but you guys created your own world for the character, which was awesome.
And I'll say this, everyone of the actors I worked with did an absolutely phenomenal job, but you guys just made it so easy because it's just such a good script. Like for anyone who's listening, like when you guys watch this movie, you'll be like, wow, like that's like some decent acting, but I mean the script they have is just it's really emotional. It's comedic at times. It's just it's a really good piece of material, and we have to really give you and Piper credit there because it's a beautiful piece.
Well, Piper and I appreciate that. I will accept that compliment on her behalf as well. um, but no, it was really emotional in a sense where you guys like yes we wrote it and we came up with the idea and everything, but the fact that you guys were able to take that just these words on a freaking paper and it's something now, like it's this now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's this film now, so I cannot comprehend how I still can't process the fact that we've made a movie.
I mean that's a huge that's a
It
huge deal. It is.
Yeah, it is. So it's been what 6 months, 5 months since we wrapped filming, and I still can't process the fact that we're doing this. So
Not to
yeah,
mention a feature. I mean, a lot of people
yeah,
can make short films.
it was. People are shocked by the fact that it was my first time directing,
Yeah,
and it was a feature, and I also co-wrote it,
it's no joke.
and I did most most of the producing in the background. So I'm like, yeah, I probably overworked myself a bit. I will learn from this for next time and get more people to help me out. I just had a hard time delegating. It's a learning experience. That's
That's
what
your
it really
baby,
is.
you want to stay close with it.
Yeah, and I don't want it ever coming off like I don't trust other people to take care of my idea or project and stuff. But I mean, part of it's like if you have the vision for it in your mind and you can do something, why not like just do it while it's on your mind? Like
Yeah,
go location scouting while you're already in the area. If it's just me, it's just me. I'll take pictures, whatever.
yeah.
But I don't know. That's just kind of like one thing that was with me is like I need to. I learned a lot about delegating from it. Um, but when it comes to you and Cora and Jared and David, how did you connect with them like before scenes and stuff? What was the process like for that? I mean, if you don't want to give away your secrets, don't give away. But how was it to be able to connect with them and what was your process like of going over a scene together?
Yeah, so basically we would just for most scenes we just read it through a few times. Just do like a normal read through, looking at the script. Then we try and get off script together so our timing is back, like we know when each other are gonna talk and what some cues are. And then that's when we go into really the character of it. And we try and make it with me and Core specifically, we try to make it more brother sisterly. So more like making fun of each other, like teasing, just like stuff like that. And then this isn't really something I discussed with Jared because his character wasn't necessarily like the same as like mine and everything. But we would like go through separate things with how we went about scenes. And then me and David, it was hard because like it's not like a really giveaway because we know me and David's character don't have the greatest relationship. But he's such a good dude. He's such a good guy.
You can't
It's
picture him as an asshole. That's the thing.
it's so hard to talk to him in between scenes and just try and picture him as a bad guy because he's a great guy. He's great to talk to. So I try my best. I hope it comes off as not liking him, but yeah.
Well, the thing is with David especially is like you said, he's one of the nicest people ever, and he's playing one of the like just crappiest people ever that you'll see on screen, and it's so hard to like I've talked to Piper about this. It's so hard to put Doug and David in the same mindset because they're so polar opposite, and it's so crazy. Like I don't know. And you and Cora, I don't know how you guys did it, but you guys had the sibling relationship immediately. Like I don't know how much you guys talked. Cora said you guys didn't really even talk much
We
between
really did.
casting and getting on set, but literally first day you guys were on it. Like you guys were acting like siblings even when we weren't recording. And the fact that you guys got along so well was great. And then when Jared came in, he got along with everyone well. And I mean, again, he's a great person as well. So
Yeah.
it's just the fact that you guys are all able to work together so well and just get to know each other so easily, I think that was a huge success, and I really liked seeing that. It made me really happy that everyone was getting along on set, because my number one fears is people not getting along on set and hating each other and having to work with each other for 3 weeks. So I'm glad that didn't happen. I stumbled across some footage the other day.
Yeah.
And it happened to contain you talking about Maine and how beautiful it is. So what was it like for you to film? Like, have you been in Maine a lot? And what was it like for you to film in Maine? Because I know you're not from Maine.
Yeah, so I'm not from Maine. I actually used to go up to Maine every single year as a kid. We had a family friend who had a cabin on Lovejoy Pond. Not sure if you know it. It's a pretty small pond, but
I haven't heard of it, but I know there are a million out there, so it makes sense.
absolutely stunning. And every time I'm in Maine, it's just a gorgeous place. It really is. If anyone has a chance to visit, you really should because I can't say it enough. I mean, it has the views of like anywhere in the world. And if you want it to rain like extremely hard for 10 minutes and then be sunny 10 minutes later, then it's also the
Perfect
place.
spot, yeah.
But no, yeah, Maine is a great, great place.
It is, yeah. We were loving it and hating it at the same time when we were filming because it was beautiful. It's amazing. But again, like you said, perfect day, starts raining in the middle of when we're trying to film the car scenes. And then takes 20 minutes to hold up, and then we have issues. And oh my God, it was a crapshoot. But at the same time, it was like, I'm so glad we chose to film up there because also it's my home. I lived there since I was 3 years old, and it'll always be like a home to me. So, and I got to show you guys all around like my hometown and everything. I think that was fun. Like Mount Batty, that hike was great. Walking around downtown, we went to have like I think the first night. I don't know if you were there or not. Were you at the Sea Dog first night, or did you show up the next morning? I think you showed up the next morning or something.
Yeah.
But even then, just like you guys get to walk around. You guys went to French and Braun. That's where I worked for 7 years. And I don't know, it was just nice. And,
Weird, cool, but weird.
yeah, it's like a whole like it's like a parallel universe, I guess. So we had a lot of great moments on set, and also one of my favorite moments of yours was math with Mr. Morrissey. I saw that footage. I'm like, okay, I know he's a teacher. He was a teacher at that point. I have to put something together for it, and that was hilarious. I love that. But what was your favorite moment on set while filming and off set not filming?
Yeah, I hate to bring it back, but I do. I think my favorite moment was my improv because I'm a pretty like introverted person, so to be able to think of something and have the guts to mention it, and then not only that, have you guys say yes to it, I think was just one of the coolest things I've ever felt. I mean, I hope it makes the movie better. That was my goal of when I imagined it. But yeah, and I'd say offset was definitely the hike because, like I said, I'm a big hiker. Stunning view at the top. No bad weather, miraculously, for a whole day. So yeah,
And now I'm going to attack both of your points here. First one, I'm so glad that you felt comfortable enough to do the improv and just kind of like add that stuff because that's what I wanted out of you guys because you guys connected with the characters the most. Um, Probably a little less than Piper and I because a lot of Kash is based on me and a lot of holy crap, a lot of Hadley is based off Piper. So that you guys are like the people other than Piper and I that know the characters the best. And when you guys were able to improv like that, you showed that you knew the characters like perfectly. And it I'm so glad that you felt comfortable enough to do that because it made it like every time we go through scene 7, where Will and I literally say, I'm so glad he suggested that. Because every single time it's like I keep on forgetting how good of a scene this is. And
yeah,
I mean, I'm it sucks that there are some scenes that we've had to cut and we've had to cut stuff down. Like you remember
yeah.
scene 22, we did not have a fun time with that one. That was the one when we were out in the driveway and a
Yeah.
bird, you had screamed at the bird. That is not how we originally envisioned it right now. It's in the editing
Really?
software and it's completely different than how we filmed it.
Huh.
But it's working. We're making it work. Thank goodness. We've
Bird
cut
man.
a scene or two already.
Okay.
But I mean that's just how filmmaking goes is
Yeah.
everything's going to go completely different than how you plan. Nothing's going to ever go perfectly and that's fine. I've accepted that. So um yeah, so that was nice that all you guys got to improv. And then yes, I agree that the hike was definitely like top moments.
Oh, and I just have to mention your mom's cookies. I
Oh
mean,
my god, we were very spoiled.
I can't like. I need like I need a container of those cookies so badly.
Well, I think we're gonna try to get her to create River's Edge cookies for the premiere. So I
That
may
would
have her make a few extra just for you to bring back with you.
that would that would be heaven. I'm gonna order a personal order from.
They're so good, and I am never gonna get used to saying that, even though the fact that I've been being able to taste them
Yeah,
and eat them for the past like 15 years. Like I've been eating these cookies for 15 years, and every time it's still like, holy crap, these are good.
she is absurdly talented. Not only do they taste amazing, they look phenomenal. So yeah,
Right? I don't know how she does it. I did not get the drawing art ability from her. I can tell you that much. I can do more of the filmmaking stuff. She's got the drawing and icing stuff. So yeah, so that's one of my favorite things too. Is we got very spoiled with her. Did you have a least favorite moment on set? Um, there were frustrating times. I know we all had frustrating times, but was there
yeah.
like a least favorite?
I'd say can't remember the scene, but I was struggling with lines for one of the scenes, and it really frustrates me when I see everybody working so hard, and I work so hard as well, and I studied the lines, and for some reason, one reason or another, I'm blanking. It always really annoys me because I know people just want to get it done and have it on film, and it's a frustrating thing when I can't get it.
Yeah, was it disappointment? Is that was it that scene? I
Yeah,
think that was 42. I think it was 42. Um no, that was a really tough one. Overall, I think we were all kind of frustrated during that scene, especially because the lighting was tough. And you had a really tough line and we kind of made some last second changes to the dialogue as well as the cinematography. So we were all kind of just like running around like okay we have to try this, we have to try this. And then also kind of like I learned from I don't know, I guess your perspective. I kind of learned from your perspective where it's um you have to kind of adjust the words to be what naturally rolls off the tongue sometimes.
Yeah.
Because there was just that one like section of the dialogue where it just didn't roll off the tongue for you, and then you just tried it once the different way, and it was perfect.
Mm.
But also the fact that in the behind the scenes, you literally say, "What did I say? I blacked out for a second there." The fact that he just blacked out during the thing, and it was perfect. The take was absolutely perfect. So sometimes that's what you got to do to get it to work, right?
Yeah.
But no, I totally agree with you. That one, and I thought 22 was really frustrating overall, which again, that was outside, but
Dang bird.
I know. I don't think, and none of the frustration was towards anyone. You know that. And it wasn't frustrating with you, it wasn't with Cora. It was just the situation. We had a really tough situation that we had to deal with, and it worked out, and I we got it. It's part of the story, and we've adjusted to be able to work, which is nice. We just fixed. We have a list of what we call problem scenes, aka scenes we know need to go in depth and fix. That was the first scene that we attacked and fixed, so it's looking a lot better now.
Yeah.
So, and question: when you yelled at that bird, was it really just a little excuse to get all your anger out?
Maybe a little bit, yeah. I did want the bird to stop talking, but
yeah. It was when he said he was gonna scream at the bird, and I had the headphones on because I was operating the lofts at that moment. I'm like, I'm gonna turn this down because you told me to, and I was like, I trust him. I'm gonna do that. And then the boom, I don't think they were able to turn it down, so it actually you can hear it, but
oh god,
it's okay. Everyone had a good time.
Everybody's ears out.
No, I think we all survived with our ears intact, which is good.
That's good.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it that way. So first off, I want to applaud you and everyone for being as understanding and accommodating as possible because of the fact that we're all new to this. We had crazy schedules, and we had to move stuff around like last second. I remember there was that one day we just had to move stuff around last second, and we just did what was best for everyone, and it all worked out. And you guys were understanding. The fact that I walked up, I was like, "Hey, okay, this is a potential solution. Does this work for you?" You were like, "Yes, of course." Cora, same exact thing. David, same exact thing. I'm like, how lucky did I get? Like, what's going on here?
Exactly. So was like, we could say the same thing about you though, because there were moments where I had to be the one that switched the schedule because of moments that happened, and you guys were extremely understanding about it and great about it, and that was really, really appreciated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, you don't want you want everyone feeling as good as possible and acting as well as they possibly can during it. And if you don't feel like you're able to do that, then I trust you and your judgment because you know your abilities. So that's where I'm coming from when it comes to that. So I and also why would I want you to do something at not 100% when we're all giving 100%? Wow, that's just stupid. So I don't know. That's where I'm coming from here. I don't know if you mentioned this already, but do you have a favorite scene or a favorite line that doesn't give away anything?
Yeah, I won't give it away, but actually, you said 22 is the bird.
Mm-hmm.
There is one point in that scene where I do think it's some of the best acting I've done. So I hope it's not gone.
I hope so too.
If it is, then it's no big deal. But I was the way it came out, I was really happy with how I looked doing that scene. Because I put a lot of thought into it and a lot of effort. So
yeah, and I know that was a really tough scene overall because you had to it was also a lot of improv because you can't just read off a script in front of your face. So you had to kind of hit the talking points or bullet points of the scene. And I think you genuinely did do an awesome job, especially given the circumstances. But also you did a great job when it comes to just your performance was awesome in there. And Cora worked off of you really well too. Um, but I feel bad. I will feel bad if I do find out that that was cut and it was what your favorite part was.
It wouldn't be a big deal.
um, I'm trying to think of if I can think of a favorite scene of yours that I just could watch over and over again that I love.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think I can think of one because they are. I can watch the movie over and over
Yeah.
like all the way through. I don't know if you've watched any of the cuts at all yet,
Yeah,
but
the stuff you sent me, I have. Yeah.
yeah, but like the entire thing, I could watch it over and over because it's
Yeah.
just it's remarkable to me how well you guys all did. Um, if I had to choose one, your performance in 55, which is big one.
Yeah.
That scene was awesome. Um, the emotion you put into it, but like it was really really well done scene by everyone around. And then also 41 when you and Cora are arguing in your room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That one I really enjoyed because you guys just delivered perfectly on it and it felt like a real sibling fight. I know I've had a lot of fights with my brother too, and I know you have a lot of siblings as well, so it probably felt very sibling like to you too.
For sure.
Are there any other notable moments that stick out to you in terms of your performance that kind of gave you like a little, okay, awesome, I got this?
Yeah. I'll answer that question in like a different way, kind of. But I'll say there's a scene where I am alone um, in a park, and that was a really hard scene for me because I've never had to do something like that, you know. Um, and like I said before, like some people were so supportive and so great about it, and I did the best I could, and I hope it came out looking relatively realistic. But we'll see. But yeah, that was definitely a moment I'll say with acting that tested my acting ability.
Are you talking about 17?
Maybe.
When you walk down the stairs and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's in like I think your character spotlight and that was a really good scene. Um, I think you did a great job for not having to do anything like that acting wise. I actually so I have this weird thing where whenever I'm like watching a movie or something and I see people getting like crazy emotional in the movie, I cringe and I cannot watch it because it starts to impact me personally. Every time that scene goes on, I have to like kind of try to ignore it because it's so impactful to me. So you did a great job. That's what I'm telling you. Is you did a great job. But I can't like watch those types of scenes all the way through. That one and scene 10, which is outside the locker room,
Yeah.
I have a hard time watching those because I feel so bad for the character
Yeah.
and it gets to me. So and then especially since it's Cash and Cash is based off me, I feel bad for myself. And I'm like, okay, well, why do we do that here? So um yeah, and I now I'm thinking of 10, I'm thinking of 9. Um I love how you were just so cool with improvising the fact that you were like holding the camera for that one shot.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I loved that. It came out really, really well.
That's
So,
good. But that was that another thing I've never done before. So that was really cool.
well, we told you we were like Isaiah, we trust you. It'll be okay. You got this, and it worked out. It looked really good, and I think it went. And you were able to like hold the camera, but also hold the emotion of the character at the same time, and hold all that to be how it should be.
That was the second scariest moment on set.
The first scariest was probably what I'm thinking of.
I think so.
Talk about it.
I don't know. Hopefully, we're talking about the same one, but this guy Michael has me doing stunts making me
Yep.
drive over his like $800 drone just to get one shot. And I'm like, I understand shots are important. I don't even in this shot, people. I don't even know if you can see me in the car.
No, you totally can't. I kind of realized that as we were editing. Oh wait, we can't even see it's him.
And I'm like, arms are shaking when I'm behind the wheel. Like, oh my goodness, if I touch this thing, I am going to feel so bad right now.
And then didn't Piper say something to you before you did the take? She told me that she told you that if you hit the drone, it's on me for being stupid enough to
Yeah,
put my drone in that position.
exactly what she said. She said, hey, it's not your fault, it's Michael's fault.
And then apparently, did that give you the motivation to just do it?
I just sent it. I was like, oh, okay.
And you got a perfect first take. So
Yeah, yeah. I tried.
we did do a test with the water bottle first,
Yes.
and that was like you hit dead center.
But I hit the
Like
water
could
bottle,
not have been
right?
better. Yeah, but it was like 3 times the height of the
Yeah.
drone,
Yeah.
so it was fine. But it was a perfect practice take, and then the real take, we only needed to do one take, and you got it. So good job. You are now a stunt driver. You can add that to your resume.
Already have, yeah.
There you go. See, check things off the list. You'll be famous in no time.
Thank you, thank you.
Um, yeah, I will say that was a little nerve wracking for me too. Only because I knew you were freaking out and nervous. So I was like, I want him to be good, and I want to make sure the shot also comes out well. But it all worked out. Everything's great. I know we had a couple of other crazy shots that we did. We talked about. There were times. There are bloopers that came across in, I think, at the end of scene 60, where you and Riley are like walking towards the door, and Will just keeps on walking into the wall because he doesn't know where he is. And I put Jacob there to like back him up, kind of like guide him.
Yeah.
Still hits the wall 2 more times. I'm like, what's going on here?
Go back to lock in.
Yeah. And every time that happened, you looked up immediately like, are you okay? I'm like, Isaiah is such a caring human being. It cuts his character's lines to make sure that Will is okay after walking into a wall. I'm glad.
I felt bad. He kept hitting like the corner of the wall, going right into his spine. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's the. Ugh. It's like because you can't avoid it. You don't even know it's coming either, and then also you hit your head on it.
And him insisting on taking his shoes off.
Oh my! What is up with that? I don't think I asked him that when I had him on the podcast, but I didn't ask him that. Maybe next time I have him on, I'll have him on for a second time talking more about editing. I don't get it, but you know, it helped him out. I guess we'll take it. So the shots got done. Oh, I know another frustrating scene that we had. 17. Both versions of it. That's basketball court. So we were frustrated with that because I know you did, because you love basketball, and
I do.
I was like, well, the funny thing is after I knew that you liked basketball and you're like an athletic person, and then I looked at like the description of Kash and the description of Riley, I'm like, well, his athleticism really fits Riley.
Yeah.
And I don't think Jared does sports, so he kind of fits more in Kash in that like one perspective, in that one descriptive scenario. But then I'm like, okay, he's gonna love the basketball scenes. But then in the first take, especially the first time filming that scene, you had a hard time missing the basket. Like your job was to miss.
Yeah. I've never played basketball. I'm not like let me just get this straight. I'm not like an NBA level basketball player by any means, but I've never played basketball and tried to miss.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a different task.
Yeah. And then there were a couple times in the bloopers where you trying to miss, you just yeeted the ball across the court. You had a hard time figuring out how not to make a basket, so you just whatever. And then there's also that one time where the gimbal just decided to like reset on Will and face back towards him. I'm like, Will, what's going on here? You're not an actor.
Well,
Focus it
well,
on them.
Will and the Gimbal had some fights.
Yeah. He says to me that he's excited to use it more because he started to learn how it works at the very end of our shoot.
Oh, that makes me confident.
Yeah. So maybe after another like year or two, whenever we film another project that happens to use a gimbal, he'll forget how to use the gimbal and then get frustrated with it all over again. And I have to show him how it works. Oh my god, it would be something, all right. I get to tell him I told you so. So I'll take it. Um, trying to go over all the locations that we filmed.
Yeah, I mean, another funny, frustrating moment was when it was just me and Maddie in the car. We're trying to film from like the outside of the car into it.
I
That
remember that
that
blooper.
did not work.
It did not at all. But we got enough of that shot for it to work in the film. So it all worked out.
That's good.
And just listening to the audio of you guys, it was like, oh my god. I kind of felt bad for you guys because I was like, they're probably like, what the hell is going on? What am
I
I
was like,
supposed to do right now?
did that just fall off? Maddie was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I
Your
think so.
your face when it the doof came off, you were like, and I was like, oh god. I probably scared the crap out of him. But no, it was the car scenes. I wasn't able to be there for most of them, so those are the ones that I have the least knowledge about. But there was a point in which Will told me about this one point where you guys started
Probably.
improving in the
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
I don't remember what it was about.
I don't want to give anything away. But I just started going with it, and I can't tell you how well did Cora did with just like matching the random improv I was saying. And I don't know if you guys are going to use it or not, but it really dives deep into both of their stories. It really did.
Yeah, and I think I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, it's kind of like not common knowledge, but we know Doug is not married, and his wife passed away. So, it was interesting to see you guys literally like creating that, like, I don't know, that story and adding on to it. It was like, okay, these guys are freaking awesome. Just I don't know, just I don't know how a lot of actors work, but a lot of them that I've worked with are just like, okay, I'm here to do whatever and go home and whatever. But you guys weren't like that. You guys were passionate from the very beginning. You guys cared about what we thought, and we cared about what you thought, and it was very, very, very. It was a very fulfilling experience for me to have such a great experience with actors on my first like big experience with actors, because you guys just made the experience for us. So thank you. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys aren't actors that are just like, yeah, I'm here, whatever, move on. And you guys, I think also is all of us, everyone on set, actors, everyone, we have something to prove. We're all young.
For sure, yeah.
We have to we can prove our abilities by doing our best here. We're all involved in this low budget, crazy idea of a film. We're all giving our best. Why we did learn a lot of things. Do you have a biggest like learning point from all this?
I mean, yeah. I mean, the whole process, I learned more and more. I think, like I said, I'm still pretty new. This is the first feature film that I've been a part of, and kind of like the more I did it and the more scenes I did, the more comfortable I felt, the more I was willing to try different things out, the more I would watch a replay and be like, okay, like I look terrible. Let me like look natural for once, and then it just gives me like it lets me get better because you can always get better. And I know I have plenty of plenty of room for improvement, so I'm glad this gave me that opportunity.
Yeah, and I think that that's like one thing I've heard from everyone is like I know it's given me an opportunity to know what to do better on.
Yeah,
I think it's good that we have that mindset. Otherwise, we're just screwed. If we think we're the best in the world, we're not doing anything right at that point.
exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah. Speaking of, so this was your first like feature film.
Yep.
How time consuming was it to be involved in something this big
Yeah, I
outside
mean,
of when we were scheduled?
it was time consuming because like I said, getting into a character isn't necessarily like an easy thing to do. I didn't want to necessarily go straight up method in the way of like I just become the character and then for the next like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, my family are like, "What is going on with you? Like you're being completely different." But like I said, I already said the my strategy, and that strategy doesn't happen overnight. So it definitely took a lot of my time. I would always put at least a few hours every single day into it to make sure I could give you guys the best version of myself. So I hope I was able to do that.
Yeah. And you also tolerated my 8 million texts of like, hey, can you do this for me? Hey, can you do this for me? I need this video clip. I need this audio clip, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I feel so bad. I know he's a busy guy, but I mean, it's part of the filmmaking process. And we all have to be in like constant communication regarding basically everything. Like, even though we're done filming, I'm still texting you like every few days with like,
Yeah.
hey, this is going on social media. Do you mind promoting it? Hey, I need this form to be filled out, or hey, this is when our premiere date is, or whatever it is, or behind the scenes, hey, look at this
Yeah.
funny clip I found of you doing something crazy on set. Like, I think it's all awesome that we are able to keep in contact after that. I've been trying to keep in contact with everyone as much as possible. I think I'm gonna
I
have
agree.
Jared on one of these episodes here soon. Here soon words. um, but it's I've been keeping in contact with as many people, and also as of right now, I think 90% of people are coming to the premiere. All the actors are coming to the premiere.
Mhm.
So I'm very excited. Not announced yet, not confirmed yet. That's making me happy, and honestly, I'm in a world of what is going on with that because um, you went to a premiere in what LA, right?
Yeah.
Which is not where you live, but you went to a
Yes.
premiere in LA. How was that? Like I
Oh, that was an
know we kind
absolute
of
blast.
talked about it a little bit, but
It was a really, really cool experience. So there was a pre-premiere party at a bar, where everyone that either filmed or was an actor in, um, like the films that were in the film festival, they showed up, and it gave me such a great opportunity to network. I talked to so many different directors and actors, and just learned so much about the acting world. It's been so great. And then the day of, it was really cool. It was at the Chinese Theater, which was really, really cool theater. Never been there before. I actually never been to California before. Um, and then yeah, just to see myself on the big screen was just a really, really, really cool experience. And I hope I get to see it more often.
well, that sounds like an awesome experience. I've never been to LA. Furthest I've been is Florida, but I'm excited to like one day I want to have a screening of this film in LA.
Yeah,
Um, so if you know connections, let me know. Uh,
yeah, bro. Yeah,
but no, like on a serious note, like it must have been an amazing experience, like you said, to be able to connect with that many people that are like kind of thinking like mindedly as you. Like I'm from Maine, I live in Massachusetts right now, not a whole lot here, but LA is like it's known for having everyone like that there. Um, I'd probably be socially overwhelmed.
I'm not gonna lie, I was, but I was like, you know what? I am in California just for this. I need to talk to people. And then once I did it, it was just easy, you know.
Yeah,
It's just getting start off, knock over the first domino.
yeah, it's worth it. in the end. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then we also filmed in the Cape. That was fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Really nice there.
it is, yeah. It's completely different in a way because we had a completely different crew. Uh, only you and Jared were there cast wise, so it was really kind of jarring to not have the crazy number of people that we had on set. 'Cause, like on our biggest days, we'd have like 20 people on set, which is
Yeah.
a lot.
Mhm.
At least for me, I know there are definitely films that have like hundreds of people on set and for one scene, and I'm like, how can you do that? I can only I can barely manage 20 people. Like
Yeah.
I can barely
Yeah.
manage 10 people. So I think that um actually I want your opinion on Skeleton Crew. When we did Skeleton Crew, I know it's more of a crew perspective, but from an actor's perspective, was that more or less overwhelming for you, or what did you like not really were you really affected by it? Like what was your perspective
Yeah.
on that?
Honestly, I wouldn't say I was affected by it. I'd say I was a little surprised by how well the crew did with so many less people. Because it was a much smaller crew and it still ran very efficiently. So there a lot of respect to everybody that was part of that crew.
I think part of it is like I love having like two people per every department when we have like full crew and everything.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just easier to have one less person in every department. There's one less person to communicate with. It cuts down communication time. It's like, okay, Murphy, you're on this. Maddie, you got this. And Will, it's this. Like, it's like, it was,
Well, do your thing.
we'll do your thing, whatever. Yeah, it was pretty smooth when we needed skeleton crew, and we were able to do that. Also, I was able to give the other people who weren't acting in the moment or people who weren't on crew in the moment like time to like chill because we're working like long days and a
Yeah.
bunch of days straight. I felt really bad. I was like, guys, please take care of yourselves. Um, but I think it was kind of nice to give them an opportunity to relax for a little bit and
Yeah.
just take
I
care of
agree.
themselves. So that was nice, and I know you enjoyed your downtime as well. Kind of just there were a couple times I think you just like went off and took a nap
Yeah.
while we were filming other
Many,
scenes, and I
many,
was
many
like,
times.
good for him.
Many
I'm
times I was
so
like, all right, I gotta pass out. Does it mean Jacob playing Yarn Boy?
that is hilarious. I love that, but it wasn't that. Well, you and Jacob did play a lot of what was it?
I have no idea what it's called, Yarn Boy or something. I think he was made of yarn. I don't know.
Yeah, it was whatever the thing is. It's a
It was
PlayStation
fun
game.
though. It's a good
You
game.
guys were like the epitome of having fun when not filming in the Cape, and that was awesome. And it made me so happy to see that. So the fact that you guys just did that, that was awesome. What
Yeah, I
was
think it
it?
was a mixture. I think we both never played it, so we just ran around and had no idea what we were doing and just had fun doing it.
Sackboy.
Sackboy, that's what it's
That's
called.
what
Yeah.
it is. Oh my god, that was awesome though. That was funny. Um, can you like reach into my mind and find out what it was?
Oh yeah, my bad. I got you.
Yeah, come on, what's up? um, I assume there were go-to time off activities that everyone did.
Honestly, I
Um,
napped a lot.
that's good. I'm glad that you got
I
your
really
sleep.
did. Yeah, I most of my activity was napping or reading. Yeah, because I had just read the Harry Potter series for the first time and I was reading that.
I felt bad every time I'd walk in, like knock, and like, "Hey, are you ready to film?" And like, you were in your book. You looked so happy. I was like, I don't want to interrupt him. He seems so happy and content right now.
No,
But
I was happy and then I was also happy to film, so it was perfect.
okay, well, I'm glad that we didn't take away from your happiness in Harry Potter.
Of course not.
Harry Potter is a pretty happy place, though, I will say.
It is. I was hoping I could just jump into the book.
Yeah. um, I I knew it had like something to do with sleep. Um, so there was that day
Mhm.
where I basically tortured you and Will, and asked you guys to get up at like what was it like 3:30 in the morning to get
Yeah.
that sunrise shot. I felt so bad.
I mean, I appreciate things like that though, because I don't do them very often. I'm not a morning person. I'm a night owl. So
Yeah.
it was really, really, really cool experience to see a sunset, even though it really never showed up.
Yeah, it was nice though. And that is like where I go to get all my sunrises every morning whenever I would go up in Maine and have my time. And it was nice to like share that with you guys. But
Yeah.
you and Will were such good sports because I know both of you guys are night owls. And we'd already filmed a long day. And I was like, hey, so sunrise is at like 4:30 in the morning. Would you guys be willing to do this? And I was like, if you don't want to, tell me. And you were like, I'm so down. And Will was hesitant. But I also think I remember we got back and we all just napped no, I stayed up, I think. But you guys just like went back to bed. I was like, I'm so glad they went back to bed because that was,
I think I remember you added like a $10,000 incentive for me to wake up, so I think it was worth it.
was it 10 or was it 12?
You know what? You're right. It was 12.
Yeah,
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 I had a
12,000.
couple more.
Yeah, and that's one thing that was really tough about this whole film thing is this was all on a really tight budget, and
Yeah.
I'm glad we were able to make what we did or what we have so far with that budget. Um, but I think it goes a long way with you guys being as understanding as you are that we're working on we spent $8,000 on this film. That's what our math has come out to now. And now we're trying to get all that back, which I think we will. I believe in us. I think you guys did a great job with the performance, and I think we were putting the editing together. I can't talk today.
Yeah.
It's been a
I
day.
think the biggest thing is as long as it's Will doesn't do a terrible job editing.
I'm supervising him. I promise. So
I think
we're
it's all
good.
about distribution at this point because I think it is a phenomenal film. I think it's going to be amazing. The script is like really, it's a really, really good script. It really is. And if you guys can get enough distribution, get it to film festivals, get it other places, like this could be something good.
Yeah, and I hope so. I'm really excited to see what we can do next. Because obviously we can't do anything till we have a final cut of the film. But
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're hoping to have a final cut done in April. Um,
Huge, yeah.
which I can't fathom that. Every time I think about that, I'm like, is that possible? Can we do that? How? Why? Because you know this. I told you the story that this started as an idea by like Piper and I in summer of 2021.
Yeah.
And it's just been continuously be putting on hold and on hold and on hold, and then we finally able to make it. And now it's like, okay, I don't want this to be done because it's always been something to look forward to, and it was nice when we were making like small progress. Like, okay, we're filming next month. We're filming this, but now the fact that like we're done filming and everything, I was like, I was crying on the last day of filming.
Hey, understandable.
And honestly, I think the first time I watched the rough cut through, I got really emotional too. Um,
Sense.
Now I'm kind of like numb to it because I've seen all of it in like in its like naked form. I've seen
Yeah.
every shot like not color corrected, and now it's all color corrected and it's all in
It's gonna happen
order.
again, man. It's gonna happen at the premiere.
Oh yeah, that's inevitable. You guys can all film me crying my eyes out and post on social media for me or whatever.
You're gonna be bawling your eyes out. I'm gonna be bowing on some cookies.
There you go. That'll make everything better.
Exactly.
But no, it's inevitable. I'm an emotional person when it comes to like seeing my visions come to life. So yeah, that's why this has been such a great project for me, and I'm very, very, very thankful for it. From you guys, especially you, especially. You were in. There are 78 scenes in the film. You were in
Yeah.
75 of
Wow,
78
really?
scenes.
Wow.
Let's do the math here. You were in 96.15% of all scenes. So,
All right, not
thank
bad.
you.
Problemo.
So, yeah, you guys kind of like made my dream come true. So, thank you for that. And
You are a stepping stone to making mine come true. And I really,
Just
really
a
appreciate
stepping.
that.
What if River's Edge blows up?
Then you guys made my dreams come true.
I
I
will
mean, you
take that.
did. I mean, just me being in a feature film. Yeah, I'll take that back. You guys really did make my dreams.
I
You
was
did.
joking. You don't have to say
Oh, I know, but you did. I've never done it before, and now I'm in it, and it's a phenomenal thing to think about and see. I mean, I might get emotional when I watch the premiere. I've never seen myself on the big screen in a lead role, Like it'll be really very, very exciting to see. And I really appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, and I'm so excited. That's all I got. I can't
Yeah,
say anything else because I'm just so excited. But thank you for bearing with us through this whole process and just being there and being so interested in just into it, because I would not have wanted anyone else to play Kash, and just like I would not have wanted anyone else to play Cora, not Cora, play Hadley, or I wouldn't change a thing. And because you were 96.15% of the scenes, that especially goes for you. So
thank you.
thank you.
I appreciate that.
Any final comments before we let me almost go to bed because time change, time zones.
No, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. Everybody who listens to this, watch the film. It's a phenomenal film. Yeah, you guys are amazing people, and I appreciate it. I'm better off of me meeting you, so thank you.
Well, thanks. Oh, now we hear sirens in the background, so I didn't do it, I promise. Anyway, but yes, thank you again for joining us. And next episode, I don't know who we're gonna have on yet. We're aiming to have Jared on, but we'll see what happens. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you guys have a great night, and we will talk to you next time on Uncropped. Goodbye.
Bye.